Right. Next, I'm going to do a review of a film. One more film, the last review, that I personally call The Life of Chuck. So, The Life of Chuck is the film directed by Mike Flanagan. I really like Mike Flanagan from Midnight Mass on Netflix, starring Tom Hiddleston, Jacob Tremblay, and of course, the one, the only Mark Hamill, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Benjamin Pajak, and Cody Flanagan. Oh, lots of people in this film. But yeah, so what is this film about? The synopsis on IMDb says a life-affirming, genre-bending story about 3 chapters in the life of an ordinary man named Charles Krantz. So this film starts amazing. An incredible opening part of the film, opening third of the film, I guess. It's basically just this world, like ours, totally our world, that is seemingly coming to an end. First, it's just the internet going down, then it's these earthquakes, and you don't see anything big. You just hear about it on the news, like, oh, California's just had a huge earthquake and it's just fell into the ocean. And eventually the telephones all stop and electricity goes, and you're just like, this is absolutely intriguing. And there's all these posters around saying to Chuck, what a great 39 years. And you're like, that's weird. No one's ever heard of Chuck. Like, all these people are sort of like, who is this guy? Why are all these posters? Like, why when the TV doesn't have any more channels on it, like all the channels are dead, is there the odd advert just saying, here's to a great 39 years, Chuck? And it's just like, this is such a good mystery. I'm so intrigued. And then I have to say, it kind of doesn't live up to the promise. It starts on the third act, and it starts on the third chapter. So that is, if this is about Chuck, it kind of, I guess it starts about at the end of Chuck's life, at the end of the world. This film is kind of switches to be more about how there's a universe inside every single one of us, how I contain multitudes. It's, I have to say, like, I felt like it was trying to be profound. It kept being these long, introspective monologues that were trying their hardest to be profound and be like, this is so profound. And, like, it didn't come out naturally. In the first half, it did come out naturally. When Chiwetel Ejiofor is calling an ex or speaking to an ex on the phone, and the world is coming to an end, and he's like, well, he does talk about something, and you could think this is profound or not, but he talks basically about how short a time span humans have been around in comparison to the time span of the whole universe. Like, he talks about it in terms of a year. Like, if the whole universe started on January the 1st, and today is December the 31st, and, like, humanity only started, like, midday today, basically. He does this huge long monologue, but it is trying to be profound, but it comes across as natural. It comes across as, like, yes, this fits in this person's nomenclature. It fits in this person's way of speaking. He wants to talk about this thing. He's a teacher, and he wants to talk about this, and yeah, it just fits. But then I have to say that once we go backwards in time to Act 2, yeah, the whole first half was like, oh, it was kind of, the first third was really not that much, and now the film is just, I feel like it's just trying to be profound for profound's sake. There's all these speeches about how math is everything, even dancing, because you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, is that math? I don't think that's math. I think you're really stretching there. Like I really just felt like the film was desperate to just make the audience go, "Oh my god, I never thought about the world this way. That is so profound. Like that blew my mind." But it didn't earn any of it because I feel like a lot of it was devoid from the initial story that I got invested in, which was this really fun end of the world kind of thing. The second act wasn't really about anything. It was just a fun a good dancing. I have to say, a good dance scene. I enjoyed the dance scene. It was joyous. It was really great drumming. It was a little bit awkward, but really good. I really enjoyed watching the dance scene, I have to say. But it wasn't about much. And then you have these big speeches of, why did I stop and why did I dance? And it's like, oh, the audience got to really think about this. But I didn't feel like that was earned, if I was honest with you. I was like, they're just trying their hardest to be profound. And then by the end, like, there's this room and there's this sort of silly, I guess, kind of twist at the end that it did not hit me. I felt like it thought it was hitting really hard with its profundity. But it wasn't. It honestly wasn't. The speeches weren't that profound. Everything is math. This great, like Mark Hamill, don't get me wrong, did an incredible acting job in this. But his speech about math, I was like, okay, he's delivering the speech very well, but the actual substance of the speech of everything being math, I was like, you're not convincing me, I'm afraid, like, at all. I don't think dancing is math. And I don't necessarily, I'm not saying that the director's aim was to make the audience realize that dancing is just maths. I'm not saying that was the writer's aim. I'm just saying the way the camera would slowly zoom in on Mark Hamill's face as he gave this monologue, and the great acting that Mark Hamill was doing, the emoting, the director wanted you to think this is profound. He didn't necessarily want you to agree with it, but he wanted you to think this is profound. And I was like, it ain't profound, really. Yeah, a lot of things contain math. Yeah, if you made a robot walk upstairs, the amount of mathematics it would have to do to measure the height of each step, the velocity of gravity, the force that it has to push. Sure, loads of maths, loads of physics has to be done. But we aren't robots, and we don't do the math. There is no math happening. Math is something you actually need to do. You know? I guess there is a discussion about, or maybe there is some kind of debate about whether or not humans sort of invent math, or if humans sort of discover math. And that is an interesting debate. But this film didn't even have that debate, really. It was just saying everything's math. And I didn't find it profound. I have to say, I'm sorry. It did not hit me. The first third was hitting me really, really well. It even spooked me out at some points. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Mike Flanagan, Midnight Mass spooked me. And Midnight Mass did say some profound things. Like, it was within the context of a really great story. But there was no story in this, really. It was just, the first third was just like a nothing. Like, it ended up being a nothing. It ended up just being like, oh yeah, that's just there's a universe in everyone, right? I didn't fall for it. Sorry. I have to say, Mike Flanagan, for me, it didn't hit. Some great performances, great dance scene, great first third. But in the end, I was like, yeah, you're trying a bit too hard here. But let me know what you thought in the comments below. Maybe I'm just grumpy. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old man. But let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. That's all we got time for, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. I love you all. Goodbye.